Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sharing Sauce with Sham. Today, we have the lovely Taylor Dru here with us, aka Systems Guru, and she's going to be sharing her entrepreneurial journey with us from start to where she is now. So, welcome, Taylor.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. I am so happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yes. And so I've been following Taylor for a while. And before we get started, I just want to give you your little flowers, not little flowers, your big flowers, because you were the person who I watched you and I was like, she doesn't have a big following, but people are really engaged in what she has going on. And so I wanted to highlight you before we get into your journey.
Thank you so much. That means the most to me. It means the most.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. So I'm going to have Taylor go ahead and tell us exactly what it is that she does, who she is, and well, not who she is, because we already know that, right? But what she does and how, and then go into how she got to where she is now.
Awesome. Well, hello, everybody. Like she said, my name is Taylor Dru, also known as the Systems Guru. I am the founder and CEO of Systems Guru LLC. I'm based in Atlanta, Georgia, and I am a high-ticket client experience expert and business coach. Okay, so I help women coaches, service providers, and specifically system specialists leverage the power of their client experience to service their number one lead generator. So I have kind of like two lanes going on right now. I have client experience expert girl, okay, and then I have systems business coach girl over here. So if you do engage with me, I'm going to have both lenses on in this conversation today, but you'll see on my socials, you'll be like, oh, okay, I see how she's doing both. So that's just a warning.
And that's okay, because we all pivot, right? We're all pivoting, and it's a constant pivot. Like, that's, if anything else I've learned, like, we're constantly pivoting and finding what we really love as we grow in this entrepreneurial space. So nothing wrong with that, girl.
We don't talk about that today, okay?
So take us back a little bit, Taylor. Take us back to like where you started. Like, did you always start as a business coach, or where did your journey start as an entrepreneur?
Oh, friend. Okay, so my entrepreneurial started as a virtual assistant, as a side hustle. So I have all of my background is in business administration. So my jobs, my internships, my volunteer work have always been some type of administrative assistant job. Now, that's great, right? Went to business school, all other things. But I felt like I was stuck there. Like, I don't know why that industry is like, there's a cap or a ceiling that you can reach if you don't want to do something else. And I'm like, wait, you can't cap me because I'm uncappable. Okay. Cool. So here, I know I just came up with that. I don't know. But I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use what I have to start a side hustle. On top of that, that was like the ambition part. But I also really just needed some money to get out of very like weird living situation. So I'm like, okay, I need to make some money. I'm going to just use what I got and put myself out there. So that's what I did. I started Systems Guru January 2020 as a virtual assistant. So that lasted for maybe 5 months at most, maybe 5 to 6 months. I had a few clients. It was cool. But what ended up happening is that one of my clients that introduced me to a particular business tool, it's a CRM tool called Dubsado. She was like, girl, can you figure this out for me, girl? I don't know what I'm doing. I just need you to look at it. I know you catch on quick. Just give me what your thoughts are. So I looked it up and I started digging into it. I'm like, oh, I'm obsessed with this, low key, high key. And I had already had some familiarity with CRM tools and business tools and things like that. So I'm like, oh, I love this. You know what? I just want to focus on this. So that's exactly what I did. I invested $300 maybe in the beginning. Not even that. I was using free YouTube videos and things that I saw online to learn this particular business tool and kind of master it, right? And so then I spent invested maybe $300 in a course to teach me the ins and outs. So I'm like, okay, I saw online there are people actually doing that, right? Mastering one particular business tool to then set up for other entrepreneurs, because busy entrepreneurs don't have the time to figure that out. So I'm like, ooh, okay. So I started just growing that. So I did that for a good 2.5 years.
Okay.
All the way until recently. So that was my thing. I was a Dubsado specialist. On top of that, I would do a lot of speaking engagements and workshops. So I would be like a guest expert in a group coaching program and things like that. So that's another way I leveraged those system strategy skills. But what ended up happening was that I was ready to let it go. I'm like, this was fun, I made some money, I showed my work. But now, I don't know, it's time for something new. I had ended up taking a job for one of the biggest tech companies in the world right now as a contract on their VP experiences team. So I'm like, okay, I have some money, it's a really good job. Let me just try something new. Yeah. So that day, it was July 7th of last year, 2022, and I had tweeted, I'm ready to let Dubsado setups go. I tweeted that. And
Wait, I see it.
Yeah. Girl, that same day. So that same day I was doing a masterclass to kind of like get my last eyes and my last clients in for the Dubsado setups before I let it go. Girl, tell me why in that masterclass, and this kind of goes into like how I shifted into business coaching. But in that masterclass, at the time, like I teach them the stuff, and then at the end, it's time to be like, okay, this is what I have going on. This is how you work with me, da 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 da. I was telling them like, this is how you can get your system set up by me, and nobody wanted that. All of that work and time and energy that I put in that launch, right? And this is today. It didn't make any sense because they were in my DMs and in my chat box on the masterclass talking about, but do you do coaching though? Do you have a coaching program? We kind of want to learn from you. We want to do this ourselves. I'm like, oh, okay. Is that where this is heading? So literally from there, that's when I decided to just do coaching. I mean, I had already been coaching like my executive assistant. We had an arrangement when I brought on my VA at the time, like, hey, I'll coach you and teach you systems and you give me a little discount, you know what I mean? So it was some type of that. So I had some experience with particularly mentoring people. My bad, this is getting long, but it's
good. You want to hear your story, girl.
But within 48 hours of that masterclass, I rolled out a group coaching program. It was really quick. It was 4 weeks. It was called the Systems Guru Academy at the time. And I walked them through a 4-step process to create their client experience funnel, right? So I did that twice. I did 2 cohorts. And then at that point, I was so stressed out from my job. That job I had taught, it was good, 6 figures, all these, best tech company. Stressed me out so much that I ended up quitting and then taking a trip to Africa. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Dave Chappelle.
This is wild, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but like during that trip, like I really had some like takeaways and reflections, and it was like, I had to go to the motherland and ask them like, cover me, y'all.
Yeah, for real.
Journey. But from there, that's when I decided to take control and claim this pivot in my life and just walk in it. Yeah. So that's where we are now. I mean, there's a lot of ups and downs, of course, and things I left out, but that's where we are now. So in addition to group coaching, I'm doing private coaching and client experience consulting. I got some speaking things going on, some trainings. I did a huge training with T-Mobile last year with CRM. So yeah, that's where I'm at now. That's where I was at. That's the story.
Yes, you got some stuff going on, but yes, I love your story. And I just think that it'll help so many people, right? I want to go back a little bit about when you were doing all the admin work and even up to when you had the other corporate job. Like, what do you feel like it is in corporate that, like really, especially for people of our color, what pushes, like, what pushes us out? Like, what do you think it is? Like, how are you feeling there that made you like, this not for me?
There's no growth. And also, and I won't say no growth, there's little growth, where you have to really create your own table in this industry, right? In business administration, because there's only so much you can do on the admin side before they feel like you're disposable, right? You are, and I don't want to be, this is even candid. But the thing is, in our industry, for some reason, there's some type of ceiling, right? Because for some reason, business administration is seen as the help. Okay. It's like you are the support, right? And you're
Yep.
only the support. It's a lot of us get kind of like undercut because they feel like we don't have more value to provide, like our strategic skills, our critical thinking skills, just our knowledge of the entire how things work in companies.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not really brought to light. So I really think unless you build the table yourself, you're not going to be invited to it. That's just the way that the organizational structures work for huge companies, middle-sized companies, and small businesses as well. So
Yes.
I would say, like, to kind of avoid that, right, is definitely find ways to promote yourself. So do a little bit more. So for example, if you're a virtual assistant right now and you're like, okay, I'm usually given tasks to complete, right, or execute for the person that I'm working for.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what, eventually I do want to promote myself. I want to be able to contribute to strategic decisions that the CEO makes, right? I want to be able to give her advice, give her insights, give her recommendations on what I should be doing this week instead of her giving me tasks. So there
Yes.
you increase, right, the value that you're providing that company or that person, and you're basically promoting yourself to the next level. It's not that easy to do that in corporate. It's not.
No, no. Yeah. And I really wanted to touch base on that because, I was in corporate for 17 years before I started my business, but, I was like trying to climb that corporate ladder because we're taught that, right? It's like, go to college, climb the corporate ladder. But I was like, you know what? This corporate ladder is taking a little too long to get to exactly where I want to be. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think it's important for women to realize that there are other avenues for you to go out here, start your own, what we, as Taylor said, side hustle, and it can turn into something great. And you don't just have to be a VA, right? Look at
Mm-hmm.
Taylor. She came from a VA. Now she's a business coach, but she even did things in the middle, Dopsado specialist. Like, there's a career path in this. There's an actual career path. And so I want to really highlight that for anybody watching and looking to get in this industry and wondering where they could go.
Yeah, because there's literally endless possibilities. During my pivot, right, I got a lot of DMs and feedback with people that were also system strategists looking
Mm-hmm.
to let something go, right? Looking to let it go completely in some instances, letting it go a little bit in other instances. And one of my good friends now, but we started being friends because she reached out to me in the DMs telling me that I inspired her to let Dopsado build outs go as well.
Mm.
And now she's a mindset coach. Right. And she speaks globally. She does keynote speaking. She
Wow.
creates events, but you see how you can literally do whatever you want. Does that really have to do with systems? In her way? Yes. Right. Being a
Mm-hmm.
system strategist was her stepping stone, was her journey to make it to where she is and to wherever she plans to go next. And same with me. So really don't feel like you are committing to a lifetime of this title, right? Start
Right.
your business or start something and see it grow and evolve so you have more flexibility and more freedom to really curate and craft your journey how you like it to be versus just following the corporate ladder.
Yeah, yeah. And touching base on that a little bit more too, do you feel like, a lot of people say, well, as a VA, you don't have to have a niche, but when you start, creating a career path, it's necessary. Would you feel like it's necessary for them to have a specific niche?
Yeah, because it does make you more valuable. Now, it doesn't have to be what most people teach niches are, right? Typically, people
Mm-hmm.
teach industry niches. So I only work with professional photographers. I only work with event designers. But that's not the only way that you can niche. You can also niche down on the type of offer structures that your potential clients have. So you can niche on, I only help, online service providers with VIP days. I only help online service providers or coaches that have group coaching programs. So those are different ways you can also niche. It's not just by industry. So think about it. And I mean, it's nothing that you have to like go all in at first, and also just see what's around you. Like really be open to the signs. What type of people are typically reaching out to me? You know, like I had to do that during that masterclass, right? I'm like, okay, so who are these people reaching out?
Right.
Recently, right? Like I didn't really go in there like with a niche. Like I know I help online service providers and coaches with one-on-one programs, but that, I mean, that may sound specific to you, but no, like after my third cohort launch, right, the only people that started coming to me were old VAs, virtual assistants, looking to incorporate system strategy techniques and offers into their business. So I didn't even do that on purpose. That was a sign. I'm like, okay, I hear you. Let me go ahead and serve this particular niche of people. So those are just different ways that you can kind of think about it. But I absolutely do think that is important because it does make you the go-to person or trusted authority in that specific area. And people pay big money to have their specific problem solved. So
yes.
yeah.
Yes, I totally agree. Totally agree with everything you just said. When you're working with some of your clients, though, what are some qualities that you've had to have as a business owner that you teach, the women that come through your program to have?
So the first thing that we kind of go through is just like mindset and CEO structure. Okay, you have to kind of go in there knowing that you have control of the outcome. Okay, you have control of everything. You can design your life. You can design how this time will go. So you really, until you can kind of like own that mindset shift and that you deserve money and you deserve clients, and what's for you will be for you, and you don't have to thirst over who's saying yes and who's saying no. You don't have to attach to the goals. When you break through those like mindset traps, then we can get started. Okay, and then so we gotta go through all of that first because we have to shed all those layers, right? And then we go into CEO structure. So this is something that's very, very important, not only to me, but to my clients, because it's really like, how do you want to run your business? You have this dream life, right? You know what you want to be. Well, hopefully, we go through goals too. So what is your long-term goals? What type of car are you about to drive? What type of house shoes are you going to own? What type of robes? How much do they cost? You know what I'm saying? Very specific about those goals. And we also break through like, okay, so how do we have to operate in order to get there? Let's talk about boundaries. Okay. How many clients can we actually take on? What are our actual office hours? What days are we actually doing this client work, and which days are our CEO time? What holidays do we take off? When do we take vacation? When should you respond? Like, how often are you responding to your clients? Is it within 2 business days? What are your actual fees that you need to put in your contract? Okay, if somebody ghosts you, what does that look like? Do they have to pay a reinstatement fee if they're late on their client work? Do you just let them be late and let it mess up your project timeline? Or are you like, yeah, girl.
I know. If you don't make it concrete, people will walk all over you. So yes, I've been there, done that. Concrete now.
Girl, same. And the thing is, like, my horror stories and my client nightmares, I bring that to my clients so they don't necessarily have to go through that, but they know it's super important. And now they have the copy and paste clause to put in their contract, So
yes.
Those are just some, I won't go into the whole framework, right? But those are just some very, not basic, simple, but very structural and needed things to like that really proves the success of our time working together and their success as an entrepreneur.
Yeah. I totally agree again with you. That is really, ladies, if you're watching this right now, Taylor just gave you the gem of a lifetime. Make sure everything you want from your clients or need from your clients is concrete, written in stone, and don't let them get away with it this month because it's going to happen again. So you have to really be firm. Like, you're the business owner. You know what I mean? There's nobody to back you up. So you have to take control and own your business. So, Yeah, so the next thing I want to touch base on is, Instagram and all these other things are always updating, but not just Instagram, business in general, right? Like, how do you keep up to date in your business with like the latest, business trends? Not really Instagram or anything, but the business trends, so that you're
Yeah.
always giving your clients relevant information.
That's a good question. So I actually try to stay away from Instagram and algorithm driven social media channels because they are very oversaturated with information. That's not how I work. So I typically pick maybe my top 3 sources of information in different areas that I'll stay in tune so I can trickle that down to my clients. A lot of them include podcasts. I love podcasts. I tell you, I love them. Like one day I might have my own podcast, but for now I'm about to be sprinkling myself around. Okay. But I love listening to podcasts. So I'll listen to like Earn Your Leisure for financial things, right? I'll listen to quote of the day for inspirational and like good like analogies and messages, right? Even I'll say, so I also have a therapist. So I have my meetings biweekly with her. And listen, a lot of what I go through with my therapist, I trickle down into my content, into my trainings, into my clients, because there's some really good takeaways, right? And maybe my clients, they don't have a therapist right now, but I allow them to experience that through me, right? By taking away the things that at least worked for me and exercises that worked for me. Other things are, let's see, I really love System Saved Me with Jordan Gill. She used to be the VIP lady, but now she has like pivoted, and I just love seeing her grow. I'll also listen to Rachel Rogers' podcast, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So she has different industry people on there, and I'll stay updated with that. Man, listen, Brown Ambition, okay, with Tiffany from Budgetnista and Mandy, I forget her last name, but that's like, again, financial advice and things like that. I have a pretty good roster too. So I talk to my CFO quarterly, and we talk here and there with Boxer, but she'll give me latest trends. So I really just like, and you'll notice that these are intentional. Like in order to listen to this stuff, to read this stuff, I have to go there and click on it. It's my choice, right? Like I don't like scrolling. I really don't even scroll on my Instagram feed anymore because it's just too much. I just stay at the top. If it ain't the stories and alive, I'm probably not going to see it. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, that's how I pick and choose, and I'm intentional about what I digest.
Yeah. And going back a little bit, when you're talking about how you don't, you're purposely not scrolling on Instagram and everything like that. Was that an issue for you when you got started? Like, were you getting caught up in what other people were doing?
Oh, all the time, girl, all the time. And it's like, that's the biggest thing that I have to walk my clients through is imposter syndrome. There's so many of us out there, right? And even if we niche, right? Even if we put ourselves out there and do all the things that they're telling us to do on social media, you're always going to have a sense of, you're always going to have a sense of, there's somebody else out there that's better than me. Like, I'm not worth doing this. I don't know enough about this. Like all of those intrusive negative self-talk is kind of amplified when you do scroll, right? And then also when you are building your business and you're trying to look for inspiration, or you're trying to look for like your competition, see what they charge and what's on their email list, what freebie are they offering, right? Which I understand, but also you don't want to get caught up in that because it's just going to clutter your vision. It's going to clutter your mind when you really need to be trying to find what's in you, like your divine purpose, right? Your divine freebie or your divine, and you can't do that if you're trying to be everybody else.
Yep.
So yeah,
that is so true. Like I went through that so bad. Like I just went through one day and unfollow all those people that I was like, oh man, she started after me. Now she's saying she making $10,000 in a month and she doing this and that. And I was like, girl, it may be true, it may be not, but get up off of here because you about to kill yourself every night thinking about all these things. So that is so important to just be authentically you. And that really has helped me to just show up, even not being corporate, right? Because coming from corporate for 17 years, I used to come on with the blazer and the makeup on. And I'm like, girl, I just want to wear this hoodie today, like a little
Mhm.
afro puff, like and feel okay about it. Like that's just me. Sometimes I want to dress down, sometimes I want to dress up, but so yeah, so I think that's so important for people. So you definitely hit the nail on the head, as they say, with
Yeah,
that.
I love that.
Um, so what do you, since you're not showing your people, right, like really the Instagram thing or the, like getting caught up in social media, if you can share us a little gem of what you encourage your people to do in order to market their business.
Oh, for sure. And let's be clear, like, I'm not saying like forget Instagram, Instagram don't work. Like, that's how I build my business. So I'm not trying to shame Instagram. I'm just saying like there are easier ways than like, trying to be with the algorithm, one-on-one with the algorithm. But
Right.
a strategy that I teach in my client experience courses and trainings and all that thing are internal marketing strategies. So when we're talking about internal marketing strategies, we are talking about using the clients and the client base that you already have to generate income. How do we do that? There are several different ways. I talked a little bit earlier about promoting yourself. So if you have any type of upsell or things like, or see like an opportunity where you can help them and kind of like give yourself a new title, okay, that's definitely a way to generate some income, right? Next thing I talk about a lot are referrals. So referral strategies. So do you have some type of referral program that you can implement in your business and in your offboarding process where it's like, thanks for your feedback, boo. Do you want to make $50 every month? Yeah. All you have to do is share this and sign up for my referral program and and get them excited about that so they can be your billboards for you. They've already experienced you, you've already converted them, they already like, know, and trust you enough to work with you and give you their money and invest with you. They are going to be way more convincing to someone that they know, which may be already aligned. They may be the same type of people, and that's an easy client for you. Those are easy clients. Okay. So again, we are really just like grabbing the low-hanging fruit. Other strategies that I teach all the time are brand collaborations and partnerships. Okay. I'm talking about tomorrow. Well, this will be later, but when you're listening to this, make sure you visit my page, okay, and go to my live replays, because tomorrow I'm talking about how to leverage your competition, quote unquote competition, to increase your visibility. Okay. Instead of avoiding your competition and leaking in the bushes, collab with them, talk to them, partner with them. There's money there. There is money there. Okay. Again, we talked about niching earlier, right? The different ways to niche. If you are a system strategist, so I told you I was doing Dubsado build outs, right? I found me a HoneyBook build out. Someone that does HoneyBook, somebody that does Airtable, somebody does ClickUp. Have these people on dial. Like, you need to be talking to people to see what people do. So when you are working with the client, you can seem like the plug, okay? And plug them in with the different people. You already have them down and they can do the same thing for you. So I definitely recommend coming up with some type of like formal partnership agreement with people that make sense. And they also don't have to be in the same industry as you. If you're a copywriter, make sure you partner with a website designer. Okay. Make sure you partner with a brand person. So again, y'all can be sending clients, passing them around, up and down, flipping them, remixing them. Do not do like, that's my favorite, because you see me on Instagram that you said, just like you said, I have a small following, right? Small, whatever you want to say.
What they call small.
Small following. But I'm out here collabing with people with 10,000 followers. Okay. And these are strategies that I can use to increase my visibility. So these are internal marketing strategies that you can use versus going on Instagram, trying to do this reel and try to do this trend. Because again, you have to convert those people on Instagram. You have to convert strangers. You have to get them to like, know, and trust you. You don't have to do as much work for people who are already familiar with you in the network. They homegirl worked with you before. Because think about it, like, if you're trying to get your lashes done, right? Who's trying to go on Instagram and trying to vet people out and go through the reviews and see where they work? But if your homegirl hits you up like, oh my gosh, girl, look at my lashes for my birthday. You gonna be like, oh, who did your
Yeah.
lashes? What's your number? And it's you gonna book the appointment because it saves you all those steps. So those are a few tips, but I'll stop there because so
Yeah.
much.
No, because those are real gems right there. I tell people all the time, like, especially the women in my coaching program as well. I say, like, you guys are all VAs, but you specialize in different areas. And even if you don't specialize, like you guys just, you're taking whoever right now, your calendar's gonna fill up. Their calendar's gonna fill up, right? And so if I'm somebody who you're collaborating with, and we always talking and co-working with each other, then I'm gonna be like, okay, Taylor, I just got somebody on the phone. They're a stylist or whatever. I know you work with stylists. Want me to send me your information? Okay, cool. Like, you
And
ain't have to do no
cha-ching,
work. Right. Yeah, I think that's so important. So I love that you broke that down because people don't believe me when I be like, there's no competition. Like, you might
there's not, girl. Listen, you see, I got my stress ball. That's when I start getting excited. That's literally what I did on my TikTok today because I'm starting to get on TikTok. But that was my opening. There is no competition. There is
no.
no competition. But that's all that mindset stuff we were talking about, right? Like going
Yeah.
from survival, oh, there's not enough. Oh, I gotta fight for these clients, right? To abundance thinking when it's like there's enough for all of us. We can all eat, B. So I
Yes,
love
definitely.
highlighted that. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, Miss Taylor, how would you, right, measure the success of your coaching business? How are you measuring that success?
Listen.
Or just to say, like, just in your entrepreneur journey, how are you measuring the success?
Honestly, it's like off the wall. So, I could answer typically like, oh, by financial indicators, but it's not even that. Like
Mm,
lately I've been measuring myself in like non-traditional ways, right? And I was listening to a podcast today, the quote of the day actually, and something resonated with me. I'm like, my success really depends on how much I can distance myself from the outcome. Okay.
mm,
How much I can distance myself from the outcome. Okay. Because in the beginning of my business, I would say I was so attached to outcomes, right? I would make the goals and I would obsess about the goals. And then I'll get so attached to the name, so attached to the package and the new offer and the this and that, right? And then like if it didn't go well, if I had to change, I would just be disappointed, maybe depressed, right? Maybe like just like out of it. And it would take me a while to recoup. So I
yeah.
would go in between my launches. They would be like very far in between because I'm like, I was just disappointed by the last one. I didn't get all the clients that I wanted to get. Oh, boo-hoo. But now, my bad, I'm dramatic.
No, but that's how we be for real. That's
For
how we really
real.
be.
But now it's like, you know what? I'm about to experiment with this thing. I'm about to get this up and running. And whatever happens, happens. Like, yes, I have a goal, but after I make that goal, I'll probably like put it on a sticky note somewhere and then hide it until the end, of the launch. So I could really just detach from it and just really enjoy the process of it. Even in the challenging pieces, because every time you come up with something, you gotta do all the back end and set up the landing pages and do this and do that and the emails, and the content, and I'm saying this because I'm doing all of this right now.
Yes.
But it's like once you start enjoying it and you're like, and you really get to a point where it's like, I don't care how this ends up. I had a hell of a good time doing this. I learned so much. I got better at this and this and that versus last time. Like that is success to me. So lately I've been feeling pretty damn successful. Okay.
I love it. I love it. And that is such a gem. I hope they're really paying attention because if you can learn to detach in the beginning, like how you are now, like off the outcome, it will get you very far and save you from a lot of nights up crying and thinking if you're doing the right thing or whatever in your journey. So yes, that was a gem. I hope it ain't go over your head.
Yes. You're welcome.
um, so for anybody looking to get into anything that you've done, right? Or just the entrepreneurial space, the online service provider space, like what would you say to them?
I would say just get started for real. Like and I know that's like typical, but no, like literally just start, because it's never, ever, 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 ever going to be perfect, right? You're never, ever, ever going to feel 100%. You literally just have to put yourself out there and start doing it. Don't overthink it. Like, even when it comes to, like, if you're brand new, right? Don't overthink, like, oh, I got to get an LLC and da 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 da. Like, no, pick a name and put it out there. Start telling
Yeah.
people what you do. That's it. You can figure out everything else on the back end eventually. Just get started, because that will get you closer to your goals than just planning about it and thinking about it and ideating about it and just praying about it and just crying over it and you know what I'm saying, lighting a candle over it and taking it outside and putting it in and you on the sticky
Yes.
on your bathroom. Like, that's not going to get you where you want to be. You literally just have to start and figure the rest out. That's literally what I have to remind myself every single day.
Yep. That's a gem. Another gem. Another.
I bring the gems. I bring the gems.
Bringing the gems. Yes. Y'all heard her. Just jump out there. Just get started. Because, like Taylor and myself, like, we pivoted plenty of times. Like, I'm getting ready to pivot again. Like, so we're always going to be pivoting. And it's just, the more you learn about the business, the more you're going to learn about yourself. And then you're going to find where your true passion lies in this whole thing. And so, yes, I love it. So Taylor, tell the people, like, I know you touched the base a little bit, but like, tell them what you got coming up, how they can, work with you.
Oh, so much is going on right now. Okay, so y'all know I have two hats, right? I have, well, two, I'm gonna call them two crowns. Okay, I wear the client experience expert crown, and I'm also a business coach for systems pros. Okay, so on the client experience side, there's a lot of like in between as well. Let's acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are looking for client experience, support, guidance, coaching, I have so many different masterclasses available for purchase. And there's a free masterclass called I Love My Clients that you'll want to watch, get your little feet wet, see if you like my teaching style, what you like when I'm talking about, and I know you will. All right. But then you can upgrade and graduate to the next masterclass, which is the Craft Your Signature process. And you can upgrade or graduate to the next masterclass, which is the Make More Money masterclass. Okay. And then probably by the time that this comes out, I will have my first class experience plan offer available. So if you need like done with you, customizable first class experience plan, so that is like a client experience plan from inquiry to offboarding, then that will be available. All right. So that's that crown.
Okay.
Systems pros. What's up? Okay. So probably by this time you'll have to watch the replay, but I am hosting the Unleash Your Potential Masterclass next week. Okay, I'm going to go through all of the steps that'll take for you to grow a successful system setup business. Okay, soon after that, okay, and I shouldn't be saying this, but I think by the time that this comes out, it will be live. I have a online community called the System Sisters. This is for women of color, system strategists. This is a space for us to learn from each other, network with each other, collab, and get guidance from me. Okay, I'm really excited about that one. Really excited. And then I also will be rolling out a mastermind. Okay, very, very soon. If you want just like more high level support, accountability, co-working time, and all the things. And then of course I have my private coaching slot. So if you want like the top notch support, 3 months, bi-weekly calls, on-demand coaching, girl, I need your feedback on this content I'm about to post. You'll want the private coaching. So I know that was a lot, but you asked, girl.
No, so listen, you got something for everybody. No matter when you watch this, Taylor, she is the woman for you. Okay, she got from beginning of your journey all the way up to take you to that next level. You know what I'm saying? Probably 6 figures in your business or more. So yes, that is definitely, you want to get with Miss Taylor Dru and get the scoop on that. So it has really truly been a pleasure speaking with you today. Like I said, I've been following you and I was like, I just gotta have her. I gotta have her on the podcast. So I definitely appreciate you coming out. And is there anything else you'd like to leave the people with, or?
Let's see. Well, for one, let me say thank you for inviting me here. It really means a lot that you have invited me to your space and your platform. So again, thank you so much. And also for following me and letting me know like that you appreciate me. So speaking of, if you are listening and you actually enjoyed this podcast episode, make sure that you send me a DM. So it's like, don't be scared. Don't be
Yes.
scared. A lot of people after podcasts, they send me a DM like, girl, I'm shooting my shot. Can you help me? Like, you got some advice? I want to do what you do. Like, I do not bite. I'm very welcoming. I invite everything, all questions, all wonderings. Let me know how you enjoyed this. Also just make sure, like, I may have something for you. I have all of my free things in www.systemsgurulinks. Okay, you'll find all of my links, all of my things, all of my masterclasses, everything I talked about, all of my podcasts. I'll probably feature this podcast on that page as well. And yeah, that's about it. But thank you so much for listening. Again, let us know if you caught something from this, if this inspired you,
Yes.
and how we can support you and serve you.
Yes. Thank you so much, Taylor. And until next time, guys, thank you for tuning in to Sharing Sauce with Sham, where we always drop you the latest sauce in the online service space.